On top of the wealth of a region, what are the factors for the existence of a creative class? There are two essential elements. One of them is education, training. Creative class and creative ability is linked to training and education levels, but we need to insert a nuance. It has to do with the existence of people that have not only studied but that they are studying. The existence of universities is an essential element that has to do with many different things, aspects that have to do with age, not because I reject that youth and innovation and creativeness are closely linked, but at least they are determining factors that require a lifestyle that is more adaptable to young life rather than to mature age. Well, now the differences are quite blurred, but well, the important thing is not to have well-educated people, but people that are at university. That we have a lot of people at university, and another important element that would be very closely linked is cities. The existence of cities, urban models in the areas where we have cities with some characteristics. There we find a larger creative class. So the relevant space, because this creative class is not a production factor. We are speaking about human beings whose enrichment depends on the interaction between them. And this depends on the existence of certain kinds of cities, the model of city. These are two very important elements that have to do with demographic aspects, mobility, and this Florida discourse about mobility is relevant, less relevant in Europe, but mobility at any rate defines where this creative class is located. And this forms human capital on the one hand, and on the other hand, this cultural acquis. Yesterday we heard Madame Lalumière, this competitive advantage of Europe is not just having Voltaire or Leonardo, but a system of memory that remembers, revitalizes the memory of these people. This is our cultural stock that we've been able to aggregate as such. This is the competitive element that other areas, from the point of view of global geostrategy, find it more difficult. The Chinese or the Maya civilization, I'm sure, had some Voltaires, but they haven't been able to have this stock. Something that we can also verify is that this creative class, combined with these elements, cultural activists are the same as social activists. There are no differences. They overlap each other. Their spheres are coincident. Those who are concerned about social problems and try to improve the social environment are almost the same as those that are innovating or creating. This same class are the main players in social innovation. So cultural innovation becomes immediately social innovation. Cultural innovation becomes social innovation because we are speaking about the same body, the same social corpus. One of the main functions this process is just a process to generate values that finally are materialized in the political space. this was also mentioned by Madame Lalumière, if we do not have these values, well, the political space is filled with confidence in the markets that fill the void of values, because culture is a corpus that generates values. And when they reach the political field, they try to reflect on the value of the economic system, and they approach the values of the economic system. Economics is a social science. The economic system is different. And so when someone offends the economic system, I do not feel offended. But when someone insults economics, I feel bad. I'm speaking about yesterday's comments about Madame Lalumière. These values generated in the political field makes us wonder, what is the use of this environment, of the economic system? This to share, transact, be sustainable, fair. These are values that come from the cultural field and that eventually affect the aims of the economic sphere. And so through this pathway we reach innovation by this circular loop in the field of values. This is the global scheme between the field of culture and the social and cultural field. What do we do here? Our aim is to build a model. This is a model. What is it that finally determines the model? What is the use of this set of values? The set of values determines the institutional framework where all these variables exist. Here we have a small policy that has to do with making this easier, with facilitating the educational processes and the existence of creativity in the educational field, that the workers of the creative sector are not cultural parias, that they may have good development and social conditions, that is, that they are not just hungry people. And we can do this. We can change these frameworks where the variables exist. This is extremely relevant, as Pavel Gantar said yesterday. Defining cities, designing cities is one of the most important elements affecting the existence of this creative class. This, well, the great politics should attempt that creative class is not just a class, but turn them into citizenship, and therefore enlarge this sphere of individual action and turn it into an attribute that is a citizenship attribute, that people are empowered and have the necessary skills in the terms of this development, this wealth, this economic wealth in terms of euros that is supplied by the existence of a creative class may become a concept of integrated development, joining the social dimension of the individual, and lead us to freedom to choose between classical music or rap, or future number one or future number two for Europe. Have this ability and not be led just by the confidence in the markets. Thank you very much.